Doesn't that seem logical, though? If you have a significant number of people that are being moved into swing states that have come across the border illegally, and then you've provided them with all these services, and then move a significant number of them to swing states, and then provide them with all these services, and then give them a path to citizenship, you could essentially rig those states.
Undeniably, immigration is changing our nation.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you look at the description section. We have a whole bunch of other stuff I want you to look at and click on. And if it relates to you, if it applies to you, go ahead and connect yourself with the things in the description section. That's why I put them there. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to win. And we're going to win big. That's my belief. That's my faith. I don't see how we don't win crazy big. With all of the anomalies that have occurred in this election cycle that I think we overlook because the PTSD we have from 2020. I mean, you got to think, Zuckerberg is not attaching himself with $400 million in Zucker boxes. That's not occurring anymore. The censorship isn't occurring like it did. Elon Musk owned X. So X is not a censorship bubble where they're doing the bidding for the United States government anymore. Then you have Elon Musk, who didn't endorse Trump before. He's one of the richest men in the world with a crazy amount of influence on Twitter in and of itself. He's now supporting Trump. Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster in the world, is now quasi-endorsing Trump, or at least alluding to the fact that Kamala Harris is a trash bag. I mean, you got so many other people. RFK is now supporting Trump. He's on his side. We got Tulsi Gabbard switch to the Republican Party. I mean, we got a whole bunch of people, the black vote, black celebrities as a whole. You know, you got all of these things that have happened. Donald Trump's attempted assassination, all these different things that have happened over time. COVID-19, the way they forced everybody to get vaccinated, all the lies that have been unraveled. All of these things are occurring that we slightly forget about. But let me take us back to the purpose of this video. I wanted to play the video of Fetterman. Now, I thought that Fetterman may have been better than he is, but Fetterman is too young to be like Joe Biden right now. I mean, he's studying over his words, and because he had a stroke not too long ago. Like, I don't even know how they voted for this guy. But anyway, he went on Joe Rogan and admitted to something very important. I didn't watch the whole thing, but this is the part that I watched, that Joe Rogan put him in the headlock and revealed something very demonic and telling about the Democrat Party, which Elon Musk alluded to not too long ago as well, is their calculated attempt to get illegal aliens into this country in swing states. So therefore, when they give them amnesty, who they're going to vote for? They're going to vote for the party that gave them amnesty and give them handouts and government assistance. And they're going to try to get them to end up voting, and then we'll never have a fair election again. There will never be swing states again. And this is what they're trying to do. And to be honest, I think it was ineffective this time, but they're hoping to get in the position to make it effective next time. Because right now, I think it's backfired. They're in the community. These people are feeling disenfranchised. They're taking jobs. They're getting all this government assistance, $45 million a month in some of these cities to house these people. The American people are sick of it. They wasn't quite able to get them amnesty this time, which hurt them. They were hoping that the Republicans will sign that border bill, which would have given them amnesty, and they would have had a run to the presidency. But I want you to listen to what Fetterman said on Joe Rogan's show, because although he tried to beat around the bush, essentially he had to admit that mass amount of amnesty, which Byron Donalds had already alluded to, a mass amount of amnesty was proposed in that bill, and they don't want to tell us that. They want to make it seem like the Republicans were the ones that didn't want to do anything about the border, when it was a mass amount of amnesty in there and all the other fluff that they put in there to try to hoodwink the Republicans. Roll the clip.
First Democrats saying, hey, though, we need a secure border. It's a significant issue. And if I thought there was any kinds of issues, and I've been very vigilant throughout, I've been actively involved in those kinds of things, and I've never witnessed those kinds of a thing.
But what do you mean by issues? Like, what kind of issues are you talking about? You talking about people letting people in order to get votes?
Well, it's not. There's not that level kinds. I don't think there's that level kinds of organization.
But there is an organization that's moving these people to swing states. There's a significant number of these people that are illegal immigrants that have made their way to swing states. And then there's been calls for amnesty. There's been calls for allowing these people to have a pathway to citizenship and allow them to vote. The fear that a lot of people have is that this is a coordinated effort to take these people that you're allowing to come into the country, then you're providing them with all sorts of services like food stamps and housing and setting them up, and then providing a pathway to amnesty, and then you would have voters that would be significantly voting towards the Democrats because they're the people that enabled them to come into the country in the first place and provided them with those services. This is a big fear that people have, and that you're rigging this system and that this will turn all these states into essentially locked blue like California is.
Well, it's immigration is always going to be a tough issue in our nation. I had as a professor in grad school Alan Simpson, and he was a United States senator. He was Wyoming, and he was actually a pro-choice Republican. I mean, how rare that would be. Well, it doesn't exist now. And he said, you are never going to have any meaningful immigration kinds of legislation. He's like, because both sides, that's useful for them, and it's going to be back and forth. And he said that 25 years ago.
Useful meaning the debate, having it always a political
it's
talking
useful
point.
For one side or the other. It's
Right.
useful. And he said there were never going to be. And he said that in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And I voted for the border deal, and that went down. And he said that 25 years ago, and that was absolutely true now, that they had an opportunity to do a comprehensive border, bipartisan, and that went down because Trump, he declared that's a bad deal after it was negotiated with the other side.
But didn't that deal also involve amnesty, and didn't that deal also involve a significant number of illegal aliens being allowed into the country every year? I think it was 2 million people. So it was still the same sort of situation, and their fear is exactly what I talked about, that these people will be moved to swing states, and that will be used to essentially rig those states and turn them blue forever.
I'm not really sure if that's what's in play. I think it's really it's important that we have to have an honest conversation.
But doesn't that seem logical, though? If you have a significant number of people that are being moved into swing states that have come across the border illegally, and then you've provided them with all these services, you provided them with food stamps, EBT, you've provided them with housing. You could, if you gave those people amnesty and allowed those people to vote, and it was very organized. You're talking about 75,000 votes over a few counties that switched everything over to the Republicans. You could see how you import 10 million people over the course of 4 years illegally, and then move a significant number of them to swing states, and then provide them with all these services, and then give them a path to citizenship. You could essentially rig those states.
Undeniably, immigration is changing our nation. I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time in Texas, but it's very clear that immigration has remade Texas, and I think it's for a good thing.
This is, I don't know, they posted that a couple of days ago, a couple of days before the election. People are still going to vote in person. I think that Joe Rogan is really exposing a lot of this stuff to people. And they may think they're going on there to get some publicity to help their side, but there's a lot of things that the American people are seeing when they watch these interviews that are making them feel as if, they're being disenfranchised. And all of the rumors of the Republicans are, conspiracy theorists, all the conspiracy theorists are coming to light in podcasts like Joe Rogan and all the interviews that you see around the country. And the crazy thing is Kamala Harris, she's not winning anywhere. She's not really saying things to make you feel confident that, wow, because Obama would speak, you'd be like, dang, man, that dude is good. Like, I really hate that he that good, because I think he lied, but he's good. He's compelling. He's authentic. Even I don't know if he believed what he's saying or not, but he comes across as incredibly authentic, more so than any of these politicians. Just about any of them. I think he rivals Donald Trump when it comes to authenticity, because even though I know that he's saying what he has to say for his party, it does sound authentic though. it does sound like he really believe it. He know how to connect with black people. Now, black people have woken up to his bull crap, but he does have ability to connect that Kamala Harris does not have. And so I'm hoping in this last stretch that people that haven't voted already are beginning to consider as they go to the polls and finish the job. Because don't be dismayed. There's a lot of people that haven't voted yet that's going to wait on election day. One, because they're undecided. Another, because people are procrastinators. I wanted to procrastinate. My wife literally voted 2 or 3 days before me, and I had my ballot already filled out, and it took me a week to go and drop it off. So people are procrastinators. And when I say drop it off, I took it and dropped it off in person. I didn't want to mail it in. I refused to mail it in. I wanted to take it to the box, look at them. She looked at me. I looked at her. I dropped it in there. Therefore, I know that thing is in the box with my signature on it and everything. And unless they do something with the box, it's in there. But we still got to really get people out to vote, man. Get people out to vote. If you haven't voted, if you haven't thought about it, listen, your vote do count. Because if just say 10,000 people that wasn't going to vote just decide to vote, and they vote Republican. Donald Trump could potentially win in some of these swing states. If you are in a swing state and you end up voting, your vote counts. Just say if 1 million people that didn't vote end up voting, even though they think, well, my vote don't count. If 1 million people do what you did and just voted, I mean, we will see a tremendous difference. It's just mathematically true. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. I got an event to go to. I'm out.